Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The Bold and the Beautiful Friday, October 18 recap. Hope slams brakes on Carter will warns Liam of competition. The Bold and the Beautiful B&B. Spoilers recap for Friday, October 18, reveals that Steffy Forrester, Jacqueline McSinswood, opened up to John Finn Finnegan, Tanner Novlin, about Carter Walton, Lawrence St. Victor, coming to Hope Logan's Annika Knoll rescue earlier. Since Hope's line was underperforming, Steffy thought Carter's passionate support of it was strange and made a prediction that something else was going on. In the design office on Friday's B&B episode, Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, thanked Carter for defending Hope for the future. Hope eventually popped up to offer her gratitude as well, so Carter suggested a celebration back at his place with no interruptions. At Spencer Publications, Bill Spencer, Don Diamond, was surprised over Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton, wanting Hope back and wondered how his pitch went. Liam admitted Hope didn't exactly go rushing into his arms, but he wasn't ready to give up. Liam confided in Will Spencer, Crew Morrow, alone later, and said he had to show Hope that she was the only woman for him. Will urged Liam to make it happen before some other guy got to her first. At Il Giardino, Brooke gave Deacon Sharp, Scene Canon, updates on Carter saving the day for Hope at the meeting earlier. Deacon was pleased over the news and suggested Carter should come in for a couple pizzas on the house. Brooke thought it was refreshing for Hope to have someone in her corner, since she was usually under siege at Forrester Creations. Carter's support was exactly what Hope needed right now. Thanks to some calls Carter made to get his place ready, it was all decked out with candles and a very romantic vibe. Hope approved and once again thanked Carter for stepping up for her today. Carter said he wasn't just thinking about what was best for the company. He also did it because he couldn't stop thinking about Hope. After Hope answered Liam's text about Beth Spencer, Jordan Gracie, Carter admitted he knew that Liam wanted her back. However, Hope assured Carter that she turned Liam down and acted like it was better to keep raising Beth separately. Carter insisted Hope deserved all the beautiful things life had to offer. In Carter's opinion, it would be a huge mistake to go back to Liam before Hope explored what was out there and saw the opportunities that awaited her. Carter also reflected on how beautiful Hope looked back in Rome, so Hope praised him as well and talked about how easy he was to talk to. Although Hope wasn't proud of the year she'd had, she was a divorced mom who was doing her best. Hope still craved love and hadn't felt like she had anyone in her corner until now, so she appreciated that and her connection with Carter. Just in case Hope couldn't tell, Carter said he was crazy about her. Since Carter liked to make his intentions clear, he asked if that bothered Hope. Hope insisted it didn't, so Carter added that she was all he could think about. After Carter guided Hope's hand to his heart, passion ultimately erupted between them. Hope helped Carter undo the buttons of his shirt as they kissed, but Hope suddenly pulled back and said they shouldn't. "But we could," a hopeful Carter replied as they looked at Hope lustfully. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Hope will have to decide how far she's willing to go with Carter and how soon, so stay tuned. The autumn sun shone through the windows of Forrester Creations, casting long shadows over the sleek designer desks and sprawling sketches pinned across the room. It had been a turbulent week in the fashion world, but today a different kind of storm was brewing, a personal one. Hope puts the brakes on Carter. In the heart of Forrester's headquarters, Hope Logan found herself standing face to face with Carter Walton, who had been inching closer to her both professionally and, more recently, romantically. Carter, known for his loyalty and dedication, had always been someone Hope could count on. Recently, though, things had begun to shift. Whether it was their shared passion for the hope for the future line or the growing chemistry between them, the air had been thick with unspoken feelings. But today, Hope had come to a decision. "Carter, we need to talk," she said, her voice steady but tinged with a hint of uncertainty. She knew this conversation was going to be difficult. Carter, his dark eyes locked on hers, nodded slowly. "Of course, Hope. What's on your mind?" he asked, though his gut twisted. He had felt the growing tension between them, the magnetic pull that seemed to intensify with every shared moment. Hope took a deep breath, her hands nervously clasping in front of her. "I've been thinking a lot about us, about everything that's happened recently. You've been incredible, supportive, kind, and there's a connection between us." "But—" Carter's brow furrowed, the word "but" hitting him like a lead weight. "But," he echoed, his voice barely above a whisper. "But I can't do this," Hope said, her voice firming up as she continued. "I can't cross this line with you, Carter. I'm still sorting through so much, my feelings for Liam, the fallout with Thomas, and I don't want to hurt you, or myself, by rushing into something I'm not ready for." Carter's expression softened, but the disappointment was evident. He had hoped, perhaps foolishly, that Hope might be ready to take a leap with him. Yet he respected her too much to push. "I understand," he said, stepping back slightly, giving her the space she needed. "I care about you, Hope. I always will, but I won't pressure you into something you're not ready for." Hope smiled, relieved that Carter wasn't pushing. "Thank you, Carter. You've been amazing. I just need time." As Carter nodded, the tension in the room shifted. There was a sense of closure, but also an undercurrent of unresolved feelings. Both knew this wasn't the end of their story, but for now, the brakes were firmly in place. Will's warning to Liam. Meanwhile, across town, Liam Spencer found himself at Spencer Publications, discussing work with his father Bill when an unexpected visitor strolled in. Will Spencer, Bill's youngest son. Though Will was still young, he had always been wise beyond his years, a trait inherited from both his father and mother, Katie Logan. Liam smiled warmly at his half-brother, motioning him over. "Hey, Will, what brings you here? Shouldn't you be at school?" Will grinned, but it was clear he had something more important on his mind. "I got out early today. Dad said I could stop by, but actually, I wanted to talk to you." Bill, sitting behind his desk, raised an eyebrow, clearly amused. "My son has something on his mind. This should be good." Liam chuckled, patting Will on the back. "All right, buddy. What's up?" Will hesitated for a moment, looking between his father and Liam. He took a deep breath, then turned his full attention to his older brother. "Liam, I've been hearing things about you and Hope." Liam's expression immediately turned serious, his mind racing. "What do you mean?" Will shrugged, but his face was a mix of concern and mischief, classic Spencer qualities. "I mean, everyone knows you and Hope are having some issues right now. Mom and Dad talk about it sometimes, and I know things aren't perfect. But you should know that there's someone else who's interested in her." Liam's eyes widened. He had always felt secure in his relationship with Hope, even during the difficult moments. But now, a surge of worry hit him. "Who?" he asked, his tone sharper than intended. Will glanced at Bill, who nodded for him to go on. "It's Carter," Will said, watching the words land heavily on Liam. "I saw him and Hope together at Forrester. They were talking, and not just about work." Liam's face tightened, a mix of frustration and surprise flashing through him. "Carter? Really? I mean, he's a good guy, but Hope wouldn't." "Maybe not now," Will cut in, "but you should watch out. I just thought you should know. You don't want to lose her, right?" Liam shook his head, processing the information. He appreciated Will's concern, but the reality of the situation was starting to settle in. Hope had been distant lately, more focused on her work and seemingly pulling away from him. And if there was even a sliver of truth to what Will had said, then Carter might be more of a threat than he realized. "Thanks, Will," Liam finally said, placing a hand on his younger brother's shoulder. "I'll talk to Hope. Don't worry." Bill, who had been silent up until now, finally spoke, his voice gruff, but with a hint of affection. "Will's right, Liam. Don't get too comfortable. You've got a good thing with Hope, but if you don't fight for it, someone else might step in. Liam sighed, nodding. He knew Bill was speaking from experience. His own tangled history with women had taught him hard lessons about complacency. I hear you, Liam said, standing up and grabbing his jacket. I'm heading to Forrester now. The battle for Hope. As Liam drove toward Forrester Creations, his mind raced. He couldn't shake the image of Carter and Hope together, the way Will had described them. Was he losing hope without even realizing it? Had he been so caught up in his own life, his work, his complicated history with Steffi, that he had let things with Hope slip? By the time he arrived at the sleek building, his resolve had hardened. He wasn't going to let Carter, or anyone else, come between him and Hope. Not without a fight. The scene was set for a confrontation, and as Liam stepped into the design room, where he saw Hope standing alone by a rack of dresses, he knew it was time for an honest conversation. But little did he know, the competition for Hope's heart had only just begun.